Imagine someone so powerful on television. Her voice could silence a room and her stare could shake the truth out of you. For over 2 decades, Judge Judy didn't just sit on a courtroom bench, she ruled daytime TV. But one day she was gone. No farewell episode. No long goodbye. Just gone. So where did she go? What happened to the woman who made courtroom reality shows a household obsession? This is the truth behind the rise, fall, and fiery return of Judge Judy Sheindlin. And trust us, it's a story you didn't see coming. Back in the early months of 1993, a small newspaper article changed everything. But the seeds of this journey started long before that. Long before she was known as Judge Judy, Judith Sheindlin had already carved out a name for herself in the legal world. It started in 1965, the year she passed the New York State Bar examination. Fresh out of law school, she took what many would consider a dream job, a corporate attorney for a major cosmetics company. A solid paycheck, a secure future, but something didn't sit right. 2 years in, she felt the growing weight of discontent. This wasn't her calling. The boardrooms didn't energize her. The paperwork didn't stir her soul. So, in a move that surprised many around her, she stepped away from law and turned her focus toward her family, raising her 2 children, Jamie and Adam. 4 years she lived the life of a full-time mom, but the fire inside her hadn't gone out, it had simply shifted. By 1972, that fire reignited. She was ready to return, but not just to work. This time, she wanted something meaningful, something that challenged her and allowed her to stand for something. A friend mentioned an opening for a prosecutor in the New York family court system. Judy applied, and almost instantly her passion cut through the competition. She landed the role and almost immediately her reputation began to grow. She was fierce, focused, and brutally honest. In a world of delays, bureaucracy, and red tape, she sliced through excuses like a hot knife through butter. And while some thought her courtroom style was too harsh, Judy didn't care. She wasn't there to win a popularity contest. She was there for truth. Her approach was raw and it got results. That unwavering presence caught the attention of someone unexpected. Heidi Evans, whose husband, Josh Getlin, was a journalist with the Los Angeles Times. Heidi told Josh, "You need to write about this woman." And he did. The piece portrayed Judy not just as a judge but as a force of nature, someone determined to clean up the courts and bring justice to ordinary people. That article caught fire. And in a twist of fate, it landed in front of 2 television producers, Kay Switzer and Sandy Spreckman. They saw something that CBS executives would soon agree with. Judy Sheindlin had star power. Real star power. They pitched her to the producers at 60 Minutes, and before long she appeared on the show. Viewers loved her. Her energy. Her directness. Her unapologetic attitude. In an era where most people soften their edges for the camera, she kept hers sharp. From there things moved fast. She wrote a book, boldly titled "Don't Pee on My Leg and Tell Me It's Raining." It was a mix of life lessons, courtroom observations, and plain-spoken wisdom. And as that book hit shelves, Judy quietly retired from her official position as a family court judge after presiding over more than 20,000 cases. But this wasn't a goodbye. Behind the scenes, a much bigger chapter was already being written. That same producing team, Switzer and Spreckman, had a vision. A new courtroom show centered entirely around Judge Judy. A mix of the People's Court and raw real-life drama, but with Judy leading the charge. CBS agreed, but there was a problem. Judy wasn't vibing with the original bailiff cast for the show. She needed someone steady, someone who could match her energy without stealing the spotlight. That's when she remembered a letter she'd received back in 1995. A man named Petrie Hawkinsbird had read about her in the news. He'd once worked with her as a court officer and admired her toughness. In his letter he said, "If you ever need a bailiff again, I'd love the chance." She called him. No pitch, no explanation needed. Bird said yes before she could finish the sentence. Just like that, the iconic duo of Judge Judy and Bird was born. Their chemistry was instant. Bird brought calm to Judy's storm. With his steady voice and authoritative presence, he became the perfect counterpart. Every time he shouted, "Order! All rise!" a new episode began with electricity. And audiences ate it up. Judge Judy wasn't just another court show. It became the court show. Millions tuned in daily, 9 to 10 million every single day. It didn't just rival the Oprah Winfrey Show, at times it beat it. Judy became a household name, not just for her rulings but for her razor wit. The public saw her not just as a TV personality, but as someone they could trust, more than most actual judges in real courtrooms. And the numbers proved it. 4 years she held the title of the highest-rated show in daytime TV. But even with this wild success, there was something missing. The Emmys. Despite the ratings, despite the praise, Judge Judy had never won a single daytime Emmy award. Fans were outraged. How could the biggest show on TV be left out year after year? Judy played it cool, but the sting was real. Still, she reminded herself, many Emmy-winning shows disappeared in a few seasons. Hers endured. Then came 2013. After 15 nominations, the moment finally arrived. Judge Judy won its first daytime Emmy. And just like one of her rulings, it felt long overdue. But the recognition didn't stop there. The show won again in 2016. Again in 2017. Judy herself collected honor after honor, from a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame to induction into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame. But it was her 2015 Guinness World Record that might have meant the most. The longest-serving TV judge and host of the longest-running Courtroom series in history. Judy had become more than a judge. She was an icon. Her name showed up in comedy skits, news shows, memes, and political debates. People quoted her, respected her, feared her. But just when it seemed like the show would go on forever, she made another surprise move. She left. Not quietly, but without the fanfare you'd expect after 25 years of dominance. So where did she go? And what did she do next? That's the twist no one saw coming. If this journey inspired you, even just a little, take a moment right now to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs a reminder that reinvention is always possible. Whether you're a fan of courtroom drama or just love a great comeback story, there's more ahead in part 2, so don't go anywhere. The gavel may have dropped on Judge Judy, but Judith Sheindlin's legacy is just getting started. Click the next video and we'll see you there. Of course, it wasn't just about awards. Judy's earnings made headlines too. By early 2005, her salary had skyrocketed to $25 million a year. That kind of money was almost unheard of for daytime television. Her net worth soared to $95 million, placing her as the 13th richest woman in entertainment, according to Forbes. Not everyone was pleased about this. Some people thought it was unfair that a television judge was earning more than real-life judges working in busy courtrooms every day. This was only one of the many criticisms aimed at her. Still, Judy kept going. Even though the work wore her down, she genuinely loved what she did. She loved the power she held over the audience and the bond she had with viewers. And when the studio offered to increase her salary to $45 million a year, she accepted. The money sweetened the deal, but that wasn't the only reason she stayed. She loved the idea of justice being served quickly and clearly. Her courtroom didn't have the slow grind of the real legal system. No long delays. No mountains of paperwork. No lawyers twisting things out of shape. Just fast, straight answers. Fans called her a human lie detector. After decades of dealing with people in family court, she could spot dishonesty from a mile away. Many saw her as a fierce protector of justice, someone who could cut through lies and nonsense with a single sentence. But not everyone agreed. While many people loved the early seasons of Judge Judy, when she showed more patience and compassion, others felt that she had changed over time. Some critics even questioned whether her behavior could get her disbarred if she were still on the bench in real life. They accused her of cutting people off, rushing to judgment, and showing bias, especially toward people who were poor or living on government assistance. To them, Judy had become harsh, even cruel. What most people didn't know was that Judy was struggling too. As the show pushed forward season after season without pause, she began to lose the patience that once defined her. She hardly took breaks. And she couldn't even if she wanted to. The show had a system that kept things constantly in motion. Litigants were paid to appear, sometimes as much as $500 if they had lots of screen time, but some got only $100 or $250. They were also flown into Los Angeles and given hotel accommodations, all expenses covered. Even the money Judy awarded in court didn't come out of the defendants' pockets. It came from the show. This setup encouraged people to appear with fake or exaggerated disputes just to get on air and get paid. Critics started accusing the show of being more entertainment than justice. As more and more people lined up to be part of the show, Judy never got the rest she needed. By the year 2010, she was seriously considering retirement. She had a contract that would end in 2014 and said she might call it quits after that. But before that deadline came, something happened. Something serious and unexpected. So what happened? Did Judy encounter any challenges? Let's find out. On March 30, 2011, Judith Sheindlin showed up on set just like she had done so many times before. Everything seemed completely normal, at least on the outside. But Judy was completely drained. She was exhausted, more than usual, and although she didn't show it, something wasn't right. Still, being the professional she was, she sat in her judge's chair and continued filming like it was just another ordinary day in court. As the cameras rolled, the bailiff called in the next case, and the courtroom drama began as usual. Judy was focused, listening carefully as the parties spoke. But then, in the middle of the proceedings, something sudden and frightening happened. Everything around her faded to black. Judy collapsed right there on set. She had fainted. She was rushed to the hospital in an emergency. Doctors quickly ran several tests and the results were shocking. Judy had suffered a mini-stroke, a serious medical scare. But true to her character, she didn't let it stop her. Instead of stepping back or slowing down, Judy did the opposite. That very same year, she renewed her contract and even got a raise. Her new deal made her the highest-paid star on television. Her hard work and dedication were paying off in a big way. By 2014, things were still going great. Judy launched a brand new courtroom show called Hot Bench, a spin-off that introduced a panel of judges instead of just one. But Judy had no idea this new venture would later lead to serious problems. Still, she kept going strong. She continued delivering her no-nonsense brand of justice, and in 2017 she signed yet another contract extension, this one locking her in through 2021. That deal brought her earnings for the year up to a staggering $147 million before taxes. But along with the money came fresh trouble. Judy had once thought about retiring. But now, with that kind of paycheck and the continued love from her audience, she threw that thought out the window. She boldly claimed that she would only retire when viewers stopped wanting to watch her show. As far as she was concerned, she still had the energy, the passion, and the drive to keep going. But deep down she had a new idea brewing, something different, something bold. She didn't reveal it just yet. Instead, she quietly began working behind the scenes to bring it to life. In the meantime, Judge Judy kept airing and Judy kept doing what she did best. Then in March 2020, while appearing on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, she made a major announcement, one that left fans heartbroken. She revealed that Judge Judy would end after its 25th season. It was the end of an era. But strangely, the show's final days weren't as joyful or celebratory as one might have hoped. Behind the scenes, something messy was unfolding. Back in 2016, a company called Rebel Entertainment Partners, along with its president Richard Lawrence, filed a massive lawsuit against CBS television distribution. They were demanding millions of dollars. Rebel claimed that CBS had cut them out of their fair share of profits from Judge Judy. According to them, they were the ones who had first introduced Judy to CBS, through a former agent named Kay Switzer. But now they were being left in the dark. They argued that CBS was paying Judy so much money that they could no longer afford to pay Rebel what they were owed. They even accused CBS of exaggerating the show's success to make it look more profitable than it really was. Worst of all, they claimed that CBS had secretly launched spin-offs like Hot Bench without informing them, so they wouldn't have to share any of the money. Suddenly, the woman known for upholding justice found herself being accused of taking justice away from others. Judy, who had spent years demanding fairness in her courtroom, was now caught in a legal storm of her own. But Judy wasn't about to sit back and take the blows. She fought back hard. She called out Richard Lawrence, accusing him of being greedy. She said he had already made more than $17 million from her show, yet it still wasn't enough for him. She claimed he never reached out to her or maintained any relationship after the show took off. Judy also defended the huge salary CBS paid her, saying she earned it by bringing incredible value to the network. Was she really contributing that much to CBS's success? Let's take a closer look. The court took Judy's side and in 2018, ruled that she was not being overpaid and was, in fact, a valuable part of CBS. But that didn't mean Judy walked away without any issues. The court said that she and CBS should have informed Rebel Entertainment about any spin-off plans. While Judy may have won that particular battle, the courtroom drama outside of television was far from over. Just like the sharp-tongued, no-nonsense verdicts she delivered on screen, the real-life legal saga carried its own unexpected turns and betrayals. Rebel Entertainment and its boss, Richard, were far from satisfied with the initial court decision. They believed CBS and Judy had cut them out of deals that they had every right to be a part of. So, rather than accepting the judgment and walking away, they filed an appeal, refusing to let go of what they believed they were owed. Meanwhile, CBS, long known for profiting off courtroom theatrics, found themselves tangled in a case too real for comfort. The network wanted no part in further legal quarrels. So in 2020, they reached out to Rebel with a settlement offer, perhaps hoping to put the matter to rest once and for all. But Rebel Entertainment smelled blood. They believed CBS was cornered, pressured, and vulnerable, and rather than settle, they doubled down. This time they brought Judy herself back into the crosshairs. The new lawsuit wasn't just against the network, it was also against the face that had made them all millions. And this time it was personal. For Judy, this was more than just another case. This was about integrity. About principles. And when Rebel accused her of withholding money or making backroom deals, she didn't stay quiet. She fired back, launching a $22 million countersuit. In her filing, Judy accused Rebel of shady and unethical business tactics, of exploiting her name while offering nothing in return. She called them opportunists trying to grab a piece of her legacy without ever putting in the work. The battle lines were drawn, and both sides prepared for a legal war that would stretch across multiple courtrooms and headlines. But then Judy faced an unexpected roadblock. The court informed her that in order to continue her countersuit against Rebel, she would also need to include CBS as a co-defendant. It was a legal technicality, but one with massive implications. Judy had to make a choice: go after the money or remain loyal to the network that had aired her show for over 2 decades. She chose loyalty. She refused to drag CBS into the fight, even if it meant losing her case. And lose she did. Still, she didn't seem to mind. Loyalty, after all, was more important to her than profit. And it seemed like the law eventually sided with her values. In time, the California Court of Appeal backed the original ruling. It stated clearly that CBS hadn't violated its agreement with Rebel. The court concluded that all payments made were strictly in line with the existing contract and that nothing had been withheld or hidden. What's more, court documents revealed something else. Judy had been renegotiating her salary every 3 years. Even when under pressure, even when surrounded by lawsuits and legal battles, she was still pushing for more work, more value, and more control. She didn't crumble, she negotiated. But the lawsuits didn't stop. Not by a long shot. Another name entered the legal saga: J. Robinson, trustee of the estates of Kay Switzer and Sandy Spreckman. These 2 women, once affiliated with Rebel Entertainment, claimed to have played a key role in discovering Judy. According to their legal argument, if it hadn't been for them introducing Judy to CBS, the Judge Judy show might never have existed. And for that, they believed royalties were owed.